Right, folks, listen up. Court is now in session. You're watching the best freaking lawyer on planet Earth. Name's Vinny Gambini. Maybe you heard of me. Yeah, My Cousin Vinny wasn't just a movie. It was a documentary of excellence, all right? A testament to the power of a sharp mind in a slightly too tight leather jacket. Now, I'm here to explain what's going on with the Clintons and this whole why the hell haven't they testified yet situation. In plain, simple, glorious English. Forget all that legal mumbo-jumbo you hear on cable news. I'm gonna break it down so even a first-year law student could get it. So grab a seat, because this is gonna be fun. Now let's start with the basics. The evidence. Exhibit A. The House Oversight Committee, that's Congress's version of a bloodhound with a badge, sent out subpoenas to Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now for you regular folks, a subpoena ain't an invitation to a garden party. It's not a request, it's a legal command. It's the law, in a fancy envelope, saying your presence is required, pal, and don't be late. They're looking into connections to Epstein. You know, that Epstein, the guy whose name makes everyone in Washington start sweating through their suits. They're looking at the planes, the meetings, the emails, the whole works. The committee wants the Clintons to sit down in a quiet room, raise their right hand and talk, under oath. That means no fibbing, no dodging, no I don't recall. It means you tell the truth, the whole truth, or you're looking at a perjury charge. It's serious business. Now here's where things get interesting. This is the part of the trial where the defense starts throwing wrenches in the engine. Hillary was supposed to show up and testify on October 9th. Did she? Nope. Didn't happen. Bill was up next on October 14th. Did he grace them with his presence? Also didn't happen. You see a pattern here? It's what we in the legal profession call a continuance, which is a fancy word for stalling. Why? Scheduling conflicts. At least, that's the official story. Their lawyers are talking to the committee's lawyers, probably over some very expensive coffee, negotiating accommodations. They ain't refused outright. That would be a bad look. Instead, they're doing the political cha-cha. It's a delicate dance. 1 step forward with a promise to cooperate, 2 steps back with a delay. It's like trying to get a vintage car to start on a cold morning. You hear a lot of clicking, but the engine ain't turning over. Now here's where most people get confused. This is the constitutional law portion of our program. Can Congress really drag a former president into a room and force him to testify? Short answer, maybe. Long answer, it's complicated. Real complicated. See, there's this thing called separation of powers. It's the bedrock of our whole system. The legislative branch, Congress, and the executive branch, the president, they're like 2 different kingdoms. They got their own rules, their own turf. Presidents, even former ones, are protected in all sorts of ways that regular folks like you and me aren't. It's called executive privilege, and even after they leave office, they carry a piece of it with them. There ain't much precedent for this, which means it's kinda like trying to use Google Maps in the middle of the woods with no signal. You know where you want to go, but there's no clear path to get there. Congress wants answers, but they gotta tiptoe around the Constitution while they ask, or the whole case could get thrown out on a technicality. So, let's say, hypothetically, they get tired of the cha-cha and just say, nah, we're not coming. Can Congress send the Capitol Police to throw them in jail? Not exactly. It ain't that simple. They could vote to hold him in contempt of Congress, which sounds real dramatic, right? It makes for a great headline, but in reality, it's mostly a paper tiger. It just means more legal battles, more press conferences, and a whole lot more billable hours for lawyers like me, making a fortune off the whole circus. Holding a former president in contempt is a political hot potato. The case would get referred to the Department of Justice, and then what? The current administration has to decide if it wants to prosecute a former one. It gets messy, real fast. So, ain't nobody getting thrown in cuffs at the Capitol anytime soon. It's a war of attrition, fought with motions and appeals, not handcuffs. So why should you, the jury, care about any of this procedural nonsense? It's simple. It's about the very idea of justice. If powerful people, former presidents, first ladies, you name it, can dodge legal accountability just by delaying, deflecting, or hiding behind expensive legal loopholes, that ain't justice. That's theater. It sends a message that there are 2 sets of rules in this country. One for them, and one for the rest of us. And I didn't go to law school or beat the system in Alabama with my knowledge of tire treads to watch justice turn into a matinee show for the elite. Justice is supposed to be blind. But right now, it feels like she's peeking under the blindfold and giving a nod and a wink to her friends in high places. So the next time someone says, "Why haven't the Quintons testified yet?" you tell them Vinny Gambini broke it down for you. 1, they've been subpoenaed, that's a fact. 2, they're stalling, that's also a fact. And 3, legally, it's a chess match. Not a street fight, it's slow, it's strategic, and it's frustrating as all hell. But trust me, the board's still set. The subpoenas are active, and if they make the wrong move, if their lawyers screw up, the consequences could still come knocking. We just gotta be patient. The wheels of justice turn slow, but sometimes they grind exceedingly fine. This is Vinny Gambini, the best freaking lawyer alive, saying stay sharp, stay loud, and don't let them rewrite the rules while you're not looking. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and share this with every truth teller you know. We're just getting started. Chris Dallas, celebrity recreations, and your favorite cousin Vinny Gambini are out of here.